Your son's best friend dies. This friend spent countless days in your house. You had them when they was little, running around doing stuff, spending the night, all of that. So you at the funeral, all that. A year later, your son confides in you that he was the one that killed his best friend. And he killed him because he with a girl that he liked. What do you do as a father, mother, and they confess to you that they're the ones that took this other person's life? Are you turning them in? What do you do? This episode of the Devinwade Show is brought to you by Ace the Engineer, the only other audio engineer I trust to mix the Devinwade Show. If you want your stuff to sound professional, make sure to hit up Ace the Engineer, unless he's with like Beyonce or Patti LaBelle or some shit like that at the moment. Follow Ace the Engineer on IG at Ace the Engineer.
Dev Nasty.
What up? Welcome to an all-new episode of the Devinwade Show. I am your host, Dev Nasty, a.k.a. Dangerous Dev Nasty, a.k.a. Choke Your Mom Out, a.k.a. Choke Your Pop Out. And today, we got a special episode because we got a guest with us today. You know what I'm saying? A Philadelphia legend. Before we get to our guest to the left of me.
You already know it's your girl Walesca D, the fashionista. You know, always representing, always looking fine, always looking good, you know.
What you got on today?
Today, I didn't really do too much today. Honestly, I got some like Zara cargos. You know, I've been on my cargo bag.
Oh, okay, because I see you got like regular shoes on those.
No, these ain't regular. These ain't regular.
Oh, they not?
Relax.
I thought those was new
They
regular.
are New Balances, but they're Ame Leon New Balances.
Excuse me. Ame Leon. I don't know what the fuck that is.
You can't just be regular here on this show.
And of course, all the way behind the bar.
She's styling. Y'all know what it is, man. It's your boy Double Q. Y'all know I'm back here. I ain't on the Double Q vibe. I'm on my DJ vibe. I'm on my healthy vibe.
You talking into the microphone, nigga?
Yeah, it's right here.
Oh, all right. How about
Am I
that?
good? Did I have to turn it a little bit?
Yeah.
My bad.
You gotta get closer. You gotta have it closer to your lips.
Oh. Slow the fuck up with that shit over there. Y'all play a lot of games. Listen.
No, because you know, you was over there trying to ad-lib and you
it's DJ Healthy P back here on the booth. Shout out to all my DJ families that can relate to this gig. Let's go.
And listen, y'all. Of course, we got the Nasty Girls back there with the loose cheeks. The loose cheeks is in the background right now. And Monica's lazy ass. You know, Monica don't want to do no work. But today, we got a Philadelphia artist, actor, producer, writer, all of that stuff in the building. We have Black Deniro in the building. And next to Black Deniro, we have a person with a very odd name. But she goes by the name of Beyond Beauty is in the building. First question.
Sure.
Where's your name come from?
It came to be years ago when I had my first breakup, and this guy made an excuse and said, "Hey, I want to move. You know, I got to focus on school." And then the next day on Facebook, I think at the time it was like MySpace or something.
Yeah, MySpace was at work.
He posted this girl and said the most beautiful woman I've ever seen. Literally the next day after breaking up with me, and I said, "Oh, okay, I'm beyond beautiful, so I guess you're right." That's where the name came from, and then it went from Beyond Beautiful to Beyond Beauty, and then that's where.
So that nigga, so you owe that nigga a check?
No, we don't owe him nothing.
You don't owe him nothing. I don't owe him anything. I will say thank you for giving me more confidence. I'll say that.
So would you really consider that him giving you more confidence, or you pretty much pulled that confidence yourself? He tried to almost take away your, because he knew you was going to see that. See, when people do that slick type shit, bro, you know everybody got the same internet. So when you do that, he did that and was like, I wonder what she gonna think when.
That's what y'all be thinking?
I mean, hold on. First off, y'all are the main ones that do that shit.
Relax. We was talking about back in MySpace days.
Hold
weren't talking about right now.
Hold on. So now that Walesca D, before we get into what we get into, because we got to take the conversations where they go. I'm sure that Walesca D plenty of times have told niggas excuses of, I don't want to do this right now because I'm busy with work or I'm going through something, or make up a
Then
grandparent
be
that
out the
died.
next weekend at the Lakers
And
game.
then pop up. Oh, that's the most famous one. The most
Which
famous
one?
one.
Oh yeah.
He
Killing
said make
off-
up a grandparent that died.
Yeah, people use
They
a
be
lot
having
of.
like 8
I mean, I
grandparents.
can see people using that for like work, but when you like dealing with somebody,
Yeah,
really,
they'll be
like
like-
that's beyond.
yeah, that's out of
No,
pocket.
that's like I've never heard a woman be like, I can't deal with you no more. I just had a loss in the family. My grandpa, like that's more something y'all would say.
No. Because this is the thing that people do. The loss might be real. The
Oh, okay,
person,
yes.
the person might have died, but she still had a new boyfriend the next day
Not
because she used it as the excuse for you. People will use
She
real
don't care
things.
about grandma. That's what she's saying.
right, Monica.
Hey, she cares about grandma, but she still used it as an excuse. You know what I'm saying? So y'all are the main ones that do that. Would you?
No.
I've never done it.
I think
people do it.
guys do it
I
the
think,
most.
I think it's equally. I think people use it according to choices. It's all about who you choose, who you like.
Yeah.
I mean, like my brother used to talk to somebody that I used to talk to. But with me, it used to be like, you can't come over, the kids is up, can't do this, my kids is here. But he would be able to walk over there and do everything he wanted to, damn near with the kids watching.
But
Hold
she
on,
really
hold on,
wanted. Wait, hold on, time out. Pause.
Oh, that's a whole different
I need
dynamic.
to make sure I got the story straight.
Different dynamic
So
right there.
you were talking to her first.
I was talking to her first, and my
Right.
brother came home from jail, and I posted him. Nothing ever happened between us,
okay,
but we were
okay.
talking.
He came home with the jail glow.
He did he. He came home. My brother Vince Black came home. I posted him, and he was getting a lot of followers, and she ended up following him. They ended up talking, but that's my brother, so he going to
Right,
tell me.
right.
Well, he didn't tell me that because he didn't know. But then when we found out, it was like all the excuses I was getting, he wasn't getting
Right, because she liked it
because she
him.
chose him.
Yeah.
that was her choice.
I mean, listen.
We just got some Black Deniro trauma.
yeah, we digging deep here.
Counselors
You
here.
know, Monica, she
Wait.
blamed it on inmates. She said it's the she said she got a weak thing for inmates.
Nah,
She was
his
like,
Monica-
Monica would have did that too. Monica love a nigga in jail.
Oh yeah.
You know what's funny that you say that?
felons against you.
Monica might like criminals. Like I don't know if anybody been watching that show Reasonable Doubt that came on Hulu. It's a show called Reasonable Doubt. It's about this lawyer or whatever. But at some point they be saying like, well, she said like she really loves criminals, and that's why she's like a criminal defense lawyer. And supposedly, like y'all have to watch the show. I don't want to like spill too much information if people didn't watch it.
I think I
But
know what
you'll
you're talking about.
understand,
It's a
like,
drama, like it's a fake show.
it's a fake
Oh,
show.
And she be
Say.
fucking these niggas.
Yeah, I'm about to say what she working for. What's her conversation?
She like him
Yeah.
like Monica.
Yeah, she like that's what I'm saying. That's what made me
if
think
y'all
about
go look at her
Monica.
pictures, like some of her
Yo,
old
somebody
pictures.
get Porter some headphones, man, because he ain't talking into his microphone.
Hey, listen, if y'all go get Monica and check her pictures, you're gonna see guys in stripes,
You like felons, man?
orange, like a lot of like
she tryna
jailish
hide.
like designs and colors.
So you like felons?
Nah, I'm fucking.
Like
Yeah.
you in jail for real? Or they just playing?
No.
Some people do.
She likes she love the streets.
Oh, you like a street nigga?
Hold on, but why did Black De Niro say it like that? And he goes, so
You like
you like streets?
like he was dead.
Nigga almost pulled the gun out.
And Monica said it like she knows she
said,
got
nah.
this weakness for him, was just like,
I know. No.
it's not true.
Yo, I ain't gonna hold you. When he first walked in here, you know who he looked like? Who do you get a lot that people say you
I
look like?
get Kevin Hart. At first time, I never believed it until I got that. I got shit Flavor Flav in my day.
Flavor
I
Flav.
got Pusha T.
Push.
Oh, you
No, not
you
Pusha T. He's
his
Pusha
brother.
T, his brother.
Nah,
I
I mean,
got
the
Brother.
niggas look alike.
I got the
Malice.
guy from the wood.
You look like Nas's brother, Jungle.
Yo, I could see
I was
that.
literally
I got
sitting
Jungle.
here.
Oh
I was like,
shit.
well, no,
I
I
can
know
see
Jungle's
Jung-
name is not Black De Niro. I was like, unless he changed his name or something, it's something new. But when he walked in here, I was like, oh wow, he definitely
She was about
Yeah.
to say, nigga, Bravehearts, nigga.
I got everybody black.
Anybody black,
Yeah,
that's who he
anybody
is.
super black this
But Black De Niro has some movies out right now. Real quick, bro. Let us know because you brought one of your co-hosts. I mean, well, she's a co-star.
She's a superstar.
but
I
it's
know
your
that's right.
co-star in your movie.
Yeah.
With you. Tell us about your film projects that you got out right now.
Starting with the first one.
Yeah.
It's more to the story. That's my first short film. I did that about roughly 10, 12 years ago. And I wrote that. I didn't really write it. I did, but I didn't. It was like a song that I had. Because I would go around the city and put everybody on a DVD, all the rappers, everybody. You name them, they on there. Reed Dollaz, Frank Grippers, Meek, Siegel, everybody. And I would put my music in the inside too. Because I ain't had the luxury of like, when I came out, like mainstream artists to have billboards and radio stuff. So I would just do that and try to steal everybody fans. You feel what I'm saying?
I get it.
So I did a song called It's More to the Story. It sat for a while, but it was like a storytelling joint that you can like visualize it in your own way when you hear it. And I linked up with High Dep.
Yeah, I definitely know him.
That was amazing. What you call it, director?
Director, yeah.
And we filmed it, and I put it out. I ain't think nothing of it, and I got a call from Meek. Like the next day or the day after that, he was like, "Yo, your movie crazy, that joint." So Meek really the first one to start calling my joints a movie, like it's crazy. And he tweeted it out, and everybody was, looking at it and stuff like that. So from there, and that's when I ended up doing Brush, because somebody came to me and was like, "Yo, I went to Netflix and I told them I had somebody inside Netflix. I told them all your stuff was mine to get like just to like."
You.
And I was like, "Oh, all right, whatever." So he's like, he set me up a meeting with somebody from D Block or somebody, and they wanted me to do a movie. I'm in the meeting just lying, like, "Yeah, I do movies, whatever."
Yeah, fake it till you make it. Yeah.
And when I left, he was like, I was like, "Yo, bro, we in trouble." He's like, "Well," I was like, I don't write movies." He said, "You do now." So then I wrote Brush. It was like a real life story of me changing my life around from leaving the streets. And I made myself a painting artist instead of a rapper because I was really pursuing rap at this time.
Yeah, I remember all the promos for Brush during that time.
I didn't want to be like get rich or die trying. So for some reason, I believe I get all my things like that from God. It just come like to make an artist. I don't know why. A painting artist, and it was like when you leave the streets, it's a lot of things that come with it. You know what I'm saying? So it was like people would think you soft, people would think you lying, or think you hiding work, and there was a lot of things that I had to go through to prove, like, not prove, but just to say, "Hey, listen, man, I left the streets. I ain't denounced that I'm some type of bitch."
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I had to go through all that type stuff. And so I wrote that. Arguments with me and my brothers, that was real, because he had to come through me. And once I'm not, doing that no more, he like, "What the hell I'm going to do?" And I'm like, "You got to figure it out."
Which is the problem that a lot of people face, or why they get stuck in the
but
game.
In his eyes, it's like, "Nigga, you my brother. You been carrying this the whole way. What you mean I got to figure it out?" That's how I took it at the time. So then I wrote Brush. Put that out. It never made Netflix, but it made me probably the most money ever. Like, I caught the last tail end of the DVD era.
Real quick, in Brush, who was your ghost painter?
Ty. I call him Ty. Taki.
Oh, okay. Oh, no, I've been Taki.
Yeah.
Okay, listen, hold on. And I didn't even know it was I've been Taki. Shout out to I've been Taki. Because I try to make sure that the artist, because I'm an artist, get their credit. The ghost painter was I've been Taki. Continue.
But being an artist in there for some reason was one of the best things I ever did, because it was original. Nobody ever did it. And I had a lot of people that did art that I didn't know come to my DMs and say, "Thank you, brother. This is my life. I was in the streets. Nobody talks about the art." Wow. So I called Ty, met Ty through Tiffany from Belargo.
Okay. Oh, shout out to Tiff. I love Tiff.
I called Tiff and told her I needed an artist. She hooked us up, and Ty, he would paint the pictures like halfway, because he's crazy with it. So he wouldn't paint them all the way crazy, because it was trying to seem like I was good, but I was a struggling artist to get where I was going.
Got you.
So yeah, I did Brush, and then I called up Freeway and asked would he be in it. He's like, "You already know." I called Cassidy, I called Chris, I called Neef, and I called Spado, and I put Tiffany in it, and we went from there. And like I said, I smoked them on that, and it didn't get the Netflix joint, but I didn't care, because I was making so much money. It felt like I was trapping again. I was riding around everywhere selling them joints. I went everywhere, every part of the city, everywhere.
Was you still shooting at this time? Because I remember I was following when you kind of like stopped doing music for a second and started jumping on the film stuff, and I seen that you had the boy Patton, because he kind of like he used to direct videos too, right? Music videos before the films.
I had videos with him beforehand.
Okay,
I had videos with him before.
And how many films did y'all end up like doing? Like, are you still working?
We did
with him?
2. No, we just did that one. We did It's More to the Story, and we did Brush. But I was still like, my heart was still with music.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? I was still with music, and then I was still making a lot of money off of the movie, but I was still with music. And they're both on YouTube. They was only on YouTube. It's more to the story. It was the first time I ever went viral. First time I ever got 1 million views. Everybody called me. You know what I'm saying? Calling me, Cassidy, and them calling like, yo, you went viral. Because back then, you wasn't getting all these astronomical views like they do now.
Right.
So it was at 11 million views. They was like, damn. And then Brush came out a little later when all that stuff, and it was like 1.2 views. And then then after I did Brush, I was like, okay, this is about to be crazy. Now I'm about to get into it. So I call it a hidden blessing. I knew I can write movies now.
But when you talked about writing the movies, but how'd you go about, I mean, you don't got to be long-winded with it, but how did you go about getting them produced? What did you learn about the process of actually having to make this thing that you wrote on a piece of paper turn into an actual movie with sound and all of this?
Bro, it all came to me. I'm telling you, it's like a hidden blessing. I learned how to do everything on my own. I had the vision. That's why I directed them. I knew how I wanted to see things. I'm a movie head, so I knew how movies look. I still got like an old formula from back in the day, like old movies. I use old movies. I take scenes that I see in other movies and I reconstruct them how Diddy did with the music. Like in Backfire, I had the guy, Tony, was like, I want to know who shot my son. I want to know, you know what I mean, the preschool teacher they used to be with. I want to know the friends he hang out with. But that I watched, Robert Deniro is my favorite actor, Black Deniro. And I took that from The Untouchables. I want that son of a bitch dead. I want his house burned to the ground. I want to go to the middle. So I would take things and blend it with my own and do it like that. And then I called Dave Patton and was like, yo, I got this movie called Wrong Guy, because Backfire was called The Wrong Guy. And I was like, yo, bro, you want to do this with me? And he was like, because we met through Meek. Like, me and Meek would be doing songs, and him and Dave Patton. So we were supposed to do music. Neither one of us was doing film at the time. You fast forward about 10 years later, we both doing films. He was like, I ain't have enough to do the way he wanted to do it. So I'm like, all right, I'm just going to send you my script anyway, and if you like it, just hit me back. He called me like the next day, like, yo, you wrote this? I'm like, yeah. He like, by yourself? I'm like, yeah. He like, shit, I'll do this joint with you for just 50-50 partners. All right, let's go. We did it. It ended up on 15 different platforms, Xfinity, On Demand, all that stuff. And then a year later, he called me and was like, bro, because Netflix turned it down like once. And then he was like, they picked it up. You're on Netflix, you about to be on Netflix. And I'm like, yo, this shit ain't really hit me really yet.
I know it had to feel amazing though once it did.
It did, but it didn't hit me because I'm such a...
You're working on the same thing, on the next thing.
Yo, bro, it hit me 4 months later. I was going to sit down and put you take the clips off of TV. And I sat down and I was about to do a clip and I just looked at that shit and I was next to somebody. Crocodile Dundee or somebody. I'm like, God, I'm really on TV. Because now Netflix is really our TV.
It's TV.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like how we used to come home and watch TV.
Absolutely.
Cosby Show or whatever. I'm like, damn, my mom passed away. So I'm like, my mom would have been going crazy right now. I'm like, I'm really on TV. And I snapped out of it and went back to what I was doing. And then it started trending. And it trended for like 4 months straight. And then Gary Owens started talking about it when he saw it. It started trending again for like 3-4 months. Then it was the 4th most watched movie on Netflix for 24 hours.
And that's people don't realize how major that is. People hear a lot of different bragging rights, and because they hear these astronomical things, they'll kind of look at that like, oh, it's number 4. No. 4th most watched when there's all of these super big $100 million productions that are on these platforms is fucking stellar. It's amazing. You know what I'm saying? It feels almost impossible.
It's when you're doing this level though.
When did Netflix pick up that film?
2019. It was on there from 2019 to the top of this year.
Oh wow.
They just took it off. Yeah. And
I hate the fact that I understand the purpose of them doing that, but I hate that because it's like when you want to go watch that movie, not technically for free, but like because you pay for Netflix, but like you want to go back and watch it, and you like, damn, they took off.
Yeah, it happened to me a couple times this week.
Now hold on, why did they take it off though? Why did
it was like a deal, like a 3-year deal, like something like that. You know what I'm saying? So like everything happens like this when you underground still. That's how I look at it. Like I'm still like under the surface.
Hey, real quick though, while you hear it, Black, because I know we're about to move on and just get into what we get into. Like Dev said, and I just want to give you your flowers while you here. We've been so close to Philly for all of our lives. We definitely consider ourselves like besides just being a Jersey-based show, we consider ourselves definitely Philadelphia for the people of Philly. And for Black Deniro, I just want to say, like, I remember when you was like, you know, on your MCing heavy. I remember, you know, when you transitioned into the films and started doing that. And I just want to say, like, when it comes to like Philly artists, period, like Black Deniro to me, in my opinion, from looking from afar, is like a stone cold hustler, right? You never seen this guy not hustle. Yeah. You never seen him like, you know, you never seen him in the I never really heard you in no goofy shit, bro. Like not, you know, arguing online, none of the nut shit. It was always just moves. When it wasn't music and when the music stopped, it was films. When we seen you, it was always, you know, fly shit, you know, and that's just me just being honest. Fly shit, fly nigga. You know, hustle. Put in his own hustle, get it from out the mud, bro. So we just want to salute you. We appreciate you stopping by, you know what I mean? So we could build with you. And it's love, man.
And what I want to tell y'all right now is a movie that you got out right now and that's more current is a movie, Jenny, right? So Jenny is on what platform so we could tell the people to go check out Jenny?
Jenny's on Tubi.
Ooh, okay.
I mean, it's on other places, but it's on Tubi.
It's Tubi.
Yeah.
So on Tubi. So as you in the movie, this ain't. Yeah, I just need to know when in the movie is you like all naked and every scene fucking all the bitches.
No, I ain't. I'm not naked. I'm not naked. We was contemplating doing the ass joint, remember? And then Bill was like, "Yo, you really want to do that? Like, it's gonna change the rating of the movie." Like the Lorenz Tate joint, I was gonna be on my.
See, some of our friends.
I was just so into it. Like I'm like, man, I'm trying to be. I don't care what nobody says.
You want to make it real.
Yeah. Our filmmaker friends, they don't care. They put their ass in all the movies.
Yeah, but he was like, it's gonna be different ratings, and we knew we was aiming for another high platform.
Right.
Like at this point, I didn't even want to go back to Netflix just because of the business. Like everybody, that's cool. To me, I felt like I accomplished something big that a lot of B-list filmmakers, underground filmmakers had to accomplish. To me, I feel like, all right, I'm still the head honcho until y'all do this.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But the money was like, the popularity was great, and it gave me more notoriety, and it gave me more opportunities, but the money was like, yeah. You feel what I'm saying?
What is Jenny about, though?
I can't tell you exactly what it's about because the plot, you've never seen it before. And I always tell people that. I always tell people you're going to be watching a good movie, then bam, you're going to be watching a great movie.
Listen, make sure that you go watch a good movie to bam, then watch a great movie. And for you, if you ever need a stunt ass in one of your movies, Porta Rich could be a stunt ass. He could paint his ass black. I don't think that's black.
That's not blackface technically.
That's black ass. Blackface is racist. Black ass ain't.
You niggas just volunteering Porter's yams and shit.
Yeah, you know, Porter do the belly scenes and shit like that.
Is Jenny where we can also see Beauty? Beauty is
how she's like. She's really a superstar. I tell people all the time, like, they're going to see. Like, me and her working together, she's a part of my company, Won't Quit ENT, and she's like a superstar. And she went from 3 places in the movie. First, she was just like, had like a few lines, then she had another few lines, and then I upgraded her to the lead because she was just so powerful. She's so strong. She's just dope. And the movie is really like a lot of women. I really want y'all to watch this movie because a lot of women pertain to this movie. I can't tell you exactly what it's about. Like,
is it on Tubi like now?
Yeah, when we put it on Tubi, it was most popular in 2 days, and it was trending in 4
tonight.
And it's about relationships where I put a lot of hidden messages in all my movies. I don't just do the regular B-list movies like dude hitting the girl from the back with a champagne bottle, get the phone call, who they kidnapped my cousin, push the bitch out.
Hey, yo, hold on, wait. No,
that's
hold
how
on.
they be.
Hold on, that's some kind of a diss. If you out there,
I don't know, bro. I ain't even picked nobody. If your shit doing that, then
Black,
bro,
don't do this.
They all do that. Am I lying?
Black. That had to be a specific movie.
Bro, it's not. It's every hood movie.
It almost sounded like the Paid in Full scene. It almost sounded like the Paid in Full scene, but I don't remember Katie pushing the bra.
You get a phone call, he wake up 2 bitches in the bed. Like, come on. Everybody got Rolls Royces, Bentleys, Benzes, Fendi, Gucci, chains. Why? I don't do that. I write my storyline captivate that you don't have to work. I had an executive producer on Jenny that kept saying, shout out to Dave Dow. He was like, yo, man, we need the Bentley, the drop top. And he argued with me for 2 weeks. And I'm like, bro, you don't need that. You ever see Denzel Washington in the fucking Maybach? Just pay attention to the storyline.
Right.
Watch how I work. And then now he's like, yo, you was right. You know what I mean? But the topic at hand is it's about relationships.
And keep that budget down, yo. The fuck you renting, getting
cool. He didn't
favors,
care.
and
He
fuck all
do his
that.
thing. He didn't care. But I'm like, bro, it's not about that. Trust me. But it's about relationships. You know, it's different types of abuse out here for females from males. It's not just physical.
Right.
It's emotional abuse. It's
Yes.
financial abuse. It's verbal abuse. You know
It's
what I mean?
womanizing. You seem like a woman. You seem like you probably a womanizer. You probably
He's
was a
still trying.
womanizer.
He ready. He trying to.
Yeah.
He still got his foot. He's talking.
Hey, Black, he's still on the ball head shit. Black, he's still on the ball head shit.
Listen, yo. Now, fuck that. Before the show came on, this nigga Black Deniro, we talking about. I said, yo, you look like you could have been Dominican, bro. You got the little curly top and shit like that. He gonna tell me, yo, Dad, you should grow your shit out. Now he gonna get. So you see how he sneaked this the movie with the champagne bottle in the back. That's how he sneaked this my hairline, yo. So I'm out here like, nah, we gonna put Black Deniro out here. You know what I'm saying? Yeah.
I tell the ladies so they can listen. This is for all the ladies that's watching too. My character Rashad, they're gonna hate him. They don't like him.
Okay.
And they have to because he's very emotionally, financially, and somewhat verbal abusive.
Okay.
To Jenny, who's played by Beyond Beauty. And I give him a background though of, you know,
where it stems from,
where the trauma come from, why a lot of black men don't know how to love because of the growing up without the father or the mom on drugs, and the sister on perks, and I give that background story to some people still don't care, but that counts.
No, it does,
right?
Because sometimes when those movies are played out, you don't like. For example, older movies, you don't really see the backstories too much. You kind of just see the person, and we kind of create our own. Right. But I like the fact that you put that in there, and I'm glad that I met you first before I watched it because if I would have watched it,
still not gonna like him.
And then I would have probably felt a little something against you. And I know it's not you.
Do for
no,
real,
I do that though sometimes.
You be hating the people in real life.
Like I ain't gonna hold you.
Bro,
like Ghost had me pissed in Power. Like I was pissed at him. Like I mean, if I see him today, like I would still feel away. Like bro, like you done fucked up the whole. Like I would feel away.
You saw him today. You
just sometimes like still have that.
Yeah, it happens. Like girls really. It was some girls that didn't know me that's really be like. And I'm like, yo,
but that's when you know you did a good job,
right?
What about the girls that do know you? You got a name out here.
They would say, if I didn't know you, like it was like that. Like they was like, I hate, like you was a nut. Like they hate. I didn't even like the nigga. Rashad was crazy. Like he was on some bullshit.
But did you get some of that from like real life experiences?
Yeah, I took it from my participation and how I was when I was not that deep, bro. But all men,
can't wait for you to slip.
Well, I wanted to see one participation though, like what?
Okay, I'm gonna give
Dad Ray
just
jump
one
in his past. We're gonna jump in your past.
All men have Okay.
But listen.
But hear you say you beat the dog shit out of
No.
Out of all the categories, right? You said financial, you said emotional. Out of all those categories you mentioned, right, a little bit ago, what out of those categories, which one you can kind of like relate to a little bit more?
I was never dependent on a girl mom. I call girls girl moms that let niggas borrow their cars, live with them, pay all their shit. I never was that. I was always getting to the money.
Right.
So I was never dependent on that. But I was in the streets first before anything, the rap and all that stuff. So I was already okay.
Got it.
So then when I came home from jail, that's when I really became Black Deniro. So now I got women over here liking me just because I can rap. They already, people that knew me. And it was just so mixed up. I see how kid stars can spiral out of control because if it all hits you at once, it can fuck you up.
But balancing a bunch of bitches, right?
I had a lot of them.
Yeah. And then, I know because I was one of the niggas out here wilding, and I knew the other niggas that was out here wilding. You always hear about this other niggas.
So I had a good woman at home, which is my baby mom now, and we're very cool. And I just was like more so, I fucked that relationship up from like messing with so many different women. And I mean, one time, man, she pulled in the gas station with her girlfriends and her cousins and stuff, and this was 2000. I'm old, so this was 2005. I had a 2004 Maxima when they first came out, the white joint. Nobody has this car uptown, and the girl I'm messing with pulls in the same gas station with my car, with her girlfriends. Now you got to see my baby mom pulling up. She ain't even my baby mom at the time. We just together. Yeah. She pulls up, and the car pulls in. she's with her family. Her family knows that's my car. Everybody know that's my car. And there's other girls bouncing in it. So I've done things like that.
Wow.
You know, and I thought just giving money
Will compensate.
all the time
Right.
for her birthday. That's when they was wearing Citizen jeans and Joe jeans. I
Yeah, that was the shit back
lacing them
then.
with everything.
Mhm.
And it wasn't the money that she wanted. It was me. And me as a whole. And I was that type of person. So that's
Gotcha.
basically some type of abuse. That's like emotional
That,
abuse.
yeah, narcissism a
You
little
feel
bit
what I'm
too.
saying? So,
Yeah, and kind of like what you and you mentioned financial abuse, and I think that's kind of like almost a piece of that, because if we well off, right, black as men, if we well off, sometimes we do be in a younger state where we don't reach that level of maturity where we think money can fix everything, right? And we try to use the money as like a tool to repair everything, and money can fix everything in a relationship, which is obviously not true.
well, Rashad was more financially abusive to Jenny.
Got it.
She was the one supplying the money and the cars and things of that nature. And then I gave her a background story of, because women are natural nurturers.
Yes.
So it's just in them to
Be that motherly
that
figure.
person for that
Yeah.
guy. And then she's feeling his story. She understands where he come from. She's a natural, nurturer. And then you got the girlfriend saying, which happens in real life, the family or the girlfriend saying, "You stupid." Why you mad?" She's not stupid. She's just, they don't know the emotional connection when they're in the bed and he's crying and he's, "I'm sorry and I mean it this time." And she's giving him that chance and they being intimate, and that makes it even worse.
Right.
And then it's like, listen, she gives him another chance because she feels as though, I'm going to give you this chance because I love you, not because what somebody's saying.
You should have named this movie Monica.
That's a
No,
low
but
blow.
I get. I mean, I know
That's
we
a
know
low
they're
blow.
talking shit, but for real, when I hear black breaking down the music, I mean breaking down this movie, it do sound like it would be a great movie to kind of like reference a lot of the stuff that we talk about.
No,
here.
100%.
Because when he mentioned
It's
the guy
relatable.
in the bed crying and telling his girl such and such and such and such,
Yeah.
that's a lot of the stuff that really goes on in the world that people don't see.
Right.
And he
Beauty,
can be sincere.
let me ask you something. Playing that role, right? And I'm pretty sure you experienced your own
World of
world.
bullcrap.
Exactly. Were you
Right.
able, like, how was you able to, like, tap into that person? Because I know there's certain women out here that kind of, like, never dealt with a man where they kind of were the financial sole provider in that moment and always taking someone back in. So how did you kind of, like, tap into this role? Like, what are things that you've done to kind of, like, support you in that?
Or for one, when I'm approaching a role, I'm always looking to find similarities because I want to connect with that person the most.
Right.
And so you go through this process of being honest with yourself. And I feel like for Jenny, I had to tap into being naive, the naive girl that in some situations I might have been.
Yeah.
I had to tap into being super forgiving. I had to tap into literally going into everything blindly. And I think that allowed me to live truthfully in the moment when Rashad would do out of pocket stuff.
Yeah.
You know, so in real life, I would like to say that I'm aggressive, strong, and bold.
Yeah.
But for Jenny, I felt like I had to tap into this young girl mentality. Like, I just want love. I just want to give love.
Right.
And I'm hoping and praying that I receive it in return. And so that's where you see the dynamic where it's that back and forth. Jenny putting up with him and accepting a lot of the crap.
Yeah.
It was a very interesting role to play. Very interesting role to play. And thank God it was only for 10 days that we shot because I didn't want to keep living in that life.
And how does that affect you, like, from a mental standpoint? I know that a lot of people, like, you have to tap into this jerk character that you're not. You have to be in this victim role. I just played my first role. The most terrible, disgusting person possible.
jerk.
I'm
Yeah.
talking
Super.
about, this is the worst, disgusting human on earth. And
But he did an amazing job as this disgusting person.
No, it was bad. It was
No,
bad.
he did great as a disgusting person.
So
though.
the crazy part is, you, like, if you're doing a scene where you gotta, like, beat up a woman or something, it's even weird for you to act it out where they have to, like, act scared when you swing the punch, and because you never saw that from that standpoint because that's not you.
But think about it. It is you. If you're acting, it is you. And say, for example, I could be the most evil person in the world. I have a justification as to why I do what I do. Thus, I don't feel like it's a bad thing, or I don't feel like it's wrong, or I don't feel like it's disgusting. And so for example, Rashad, you know, his justification was, listen, I always had to, you know, I had to get it the best way I could get it. And whether it hurts people or not, this is how I survive. So you justify everything that you're doing for that character, and you don't look at yourself in a disgusting way. I could be the most, you know, prideful, disgusting person on earth, but when I look in the mirror, I'm like, it's me. You know, but you don't really get to see the ugly side until you face conflict and you're with another person. So I think the best scenes are when me or him are going through that tussle, and that like, I want to be loved, and then he's like, I want to be loved, but I want to be loved in this way where I abuse you, and I'm like, I want to be loved in the way that you respect me and honor me. And so I think no, it's not ugly, it's not disgusting. Maybe stepping away from the role that you just did now, you can say that, but when you're in it, this is who I am, and this is why I'm doing what I'm doing, and that's it.
That's how deep you go into character.
That's how deep you go into
But that's
it.
the difference, y'all, between real actors. They're real actors. I'm not.
You can't. I just act a little bit.
Well,
I can act, but she's.
How many movies you got?
4.
Real,
He's an actor.
listen, man, he about to shortchange himself, you know what I'm saying?
Right.
Real actors. But I want to talk about some justification and things like that people go through. I have a scenario for everybody here, and I want to get everybody to chime in. It's kind of based on something, but it's switched up a little bit, right?
Okay.
So listen, your son's best friend dies. This friend spent countless days in your house because obviously this is your son's right-hand man. You had them when they was little, running around doing stuff, spending the night, all of that. A year, so you at the funeral, all that. A year later, your son confides in you that he was the one that killed his best friend. And he killed him because he fucked with a girl that he liked. Not even a girl that he was with. It was a girl that his homie knew that he was in love with, but his homie went and did that. What do you do as a father, mother, when your son, they come to you crying, it's been weighing on them, whatever the case may be, and they confess to you that they're the ones that took this other person's life? Are you turning them in? What do you do? What do you do? I want to put it on
Beyond
our
Beauty.
actress. Yes.
I will say that love is so strong. It is so powerful. It, in my opinion, has no boundaries, and most times makes no sense.
Listen, I'm waiting. I'm like, I gotta hear this.
I love that statement though, before her answer.
Yeah, it was great. Fantastic.
I would love my son so much that I see where he's coming from, and I understand his perspective and where he felt he needed to do what he did because I love him. However, love doesn't mean lack of discipline, doesn't mean lack of accountability, and doesn't mean that you can't tell them the real truth. And so love might keep me from pushing him to the authorities, from telling on him and things like that. But he's definitely not going to live this world or live this life not being held accountable or not understanding where he went wrong. So I do believe that, life will take you, life will handle you. But yeah, if you expect me to just like do this to my son, like, hey, I'm going to take you to the authorities, maybe not, because that's how love is. Love is boundless. You can't really,
I just to jump in on piggyback off of where Beauty going with it, because I actually was thinking similarly, where I just feel like, I'm a fan of karma. I speak on karma a lot, right? And I just feel like my son, it would be an ugly situation where I would be super disappointed in my kid, right? To admit some shit like that and come to me and confess to me that he took a life, right? We don't practice that in our family, right? We feel like that's not humans' jobs, whatever. But at the same time, would I push him to the police? Would I call the police and have the police come get him and send him to prison, knowing how that system does and how kind of wrong that system is and just all the ins and outs of that shit? Me personally, knowing that, I wouldn't feed my son to that neither. I would definitely I would be thinking more along the lines kind of like where Beauty was going, where it's like trying to teach him about trying to like it's take accountability, learn accountability, you know, and I'm talking about, of course, not with the authorities, but I mean like with like God, universal shit. Like, yo, you was wrong. You need to pray for forgiveness. Not only pray for forgiveness, you need to do acts of kindness. Like so many that to hope that this doesn't come back and get you. Because you heard what she said. She said, life will handle you. And I felt that because we can't control that. We can't even control karma and life and the things that our children will do that the universe is going to respond in a negative way to. So the best thing I can do is say, yo, you need to just go on like a super positive change of leaf for your life to hope that this karma doesn't hit you back.
But the thing is with that, right? And I love like what you said and what you said, Richie, because it comes from like the place of love, right? But then when you put yourself in the position of that mother or father that don't know what happened to their child, or not they don't know, but don't know who committed this like crime to their child, right? They don't know that. And it's just like, I couldn't live my life with that in the back of my mind to see that mother all the time. And say I run into her and knowing that my child is still living on this earth without suffering any consequence. Because essentially, like, we don't know when that karma is gonna, you know, hit them or whatever. And again, we don't know what could happen because it could happen down the line. You know how life works, right? You know, people be like, damn, my karma finally came up to me. You know, you 45 years old, right? So it's just like, for me, like, I couldn't live with that.
So this is a thing with me, right? I want to hear from everybody in the live chat. I want to hear from everybody in the comments because I think I lean more towards I don't believe in karma anymore. I watch a lot of people go their whole life doing disrespectful, nasty, underhanded things, and they ride the whole wave out. Getting cancer when you're 79 years old and dying ain't karma to me. That's just death. We all got to go out some way. I watch a lot of people in our industry steal. We talked about this. Steal, rob, manipulate, frame, and go their whole life doing nasty things. So I think that karma sometimes is our afterwards definition of something that happened. I believe that I can act as karma. If I go and do something in return, in revenge, people will call it karma. And I say, it wasn't karma, man. That was Dev. That was me. I felt like something was done and I went and did that. So I do lean towards what you just talked about too, because the reason why the picture was painted in that way is I know, and in my family and in my neighborhood, it's situations that are like this, where now women that are co-workers have to be at the same job with each other or in the same building. They see each other, but one son did something to the other one's son. So they both lost their kid, but one is in jail and the other, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And the reason why I painted this picture the way I did, Black, and I said, this kid also grew up in your house is, I tell my son all the time, I don't let him spend the night at other people's houses. Right? But I let everybody spend the night at my house because I feel like I don't know how them parents is, but I'ma protect your kid like they my kid. You feel what I'm saying? If you in my crib while you in there, you my kid. So if his best friend come up and I got love for this kid, to find out that my son erased him and over something that he never really violated. It was a jealousy thing. Like you liked the girl.
You felt the
that
way.
Wasn't your girl. He didn't even like that. Like he liked the girl. I don't know what kind of person I might have on my hands for real. Just because a person is my kid don't mean that I look at them that they possibly couldn't be, I'm not saying in this case, but possibly couldn't be evil, couldn't be just a fucked up human being. Some of us got fucked up dads, fucked up people in our family. That don't mean the next person ain't gonna be fucked up, but you could produce the next serial killer. You could produce the next thief.
So it's like, what do we do, right? It's like,
I want to know what Black Deniro would do.
First, I'm gonna make a movie out of that.
heard about all the stealing in the
And I'm gonna just say, I'm gonna just give you credit.
Yeah, you getting credit though.
That's it. Oh man, that's a tough joint. It's tough because I'm gonna go straight to the karma thing. I don't believe in karma all the way, like you're saying, but not in that aspect. I kind of don't, but I do. You're talking about karma on this life, on this earth. It's going to be some karma for your ass, but it might not be on this earth. So you might, the people that you see robbing, stealing, getting away, and doing us, killing and shit. Oh, they got a judge to face, and it's going to be different. That karma is going. That's the worst karma. You feel what I'm saying? So I believe in that. Like that's how I believe. Like it's not gonna go unjustified. You feel what I'm saying? So that's that. As far as the kid situation, I have a similar situation with two homies like that. They grew up as god brothers, live very close to each other, right next door to each other, hear each other through the walls, and one shot the other one. Fortunately, he's still here, but yeah, I've seen that situation. I don't know what I would do if that was my son, man, because it's like I know that I wouldn't turn him in, probably. That's what everybody gonna say because of the love thing and because it's my son. But I would still tell him, I would tell him honestly, what do you think you should do? You know?
Give him the choice.
Yeah, what do you think you should do? You know what I'm saying? Because I agree with what you said too. Like, it's a lot of family members you might not speak to, whether it's daughters, sons, or don't mess with. And I say you can have a nut. You can have a nut as a child, and they'd be like, "What? Yeah, you can say my daughter's a nut," or this, and they don't say that. Yeah, Jeffrey Dahmer had great parents.
There's a lot of different people out there.
Yeah, you don't know who you gave birth to sometimes. That's a sticky situation, man, because it depends on where you're from too, man. Somebody might take care of them in the hood. Like somebody might smoke your son because of it. But I don't think I would. I know I wouldn't turn him in. I would just give him the real about what he did and what happened. Because you think about it now, this is so many bodies in Philadelphia. These ain't nobody but little cousins. It be girls on the gram. Y'all pussies killed my cousin. Y'all killed my brother. But your little cousin, Rada just killed.
Yeah, no, 100%.
And y'all hit him in the crib, and y'all know he did it.
100%.
He's a rider. He's a shooter here.
But we also know that, and not saying that all victims that's in this area and stuff like that are of the streets. Sometimes, man, that shit just bleed over to people that is the boy that played basketball. But in this case, I'm talking about people that aren't involved in the streets. This is literally something that's based off of love, jealousy, things of that nature. Now, the reason why it is interesting is in real life, the other family members start to play a part. When that person, you almost wish that he never told you that.
Exactly.
Because if he told you that now, you cool with their parents. For the rest of your life now, you putting up a front. You're almost an accessory because you sitting there, you know exactly what happened. You got to talk to these people. Sometimes this mom is calling you up to grieve and talk about this person. They still got memorials and shit. You going over to that motherfucker releasing balloons and all this shit. And you know good and damn well Little Black Deniro was the one that did the shit. And this other part, real quick. The other part is when you watch people lie about shit, right? And you know they lying, it make you look at them real crazy.
Oh, do the parents know? They know, right? They lied about it.
No. The parent doesn't know. You know though that your son did it, but the parent,
the other parent, that's just your people's. That's their kid.
They don't know nothing.
They don't know nothing. Only you know.
Right.
So now you still see them. You see them how you doing. We know we just taking it day by day.
Yeah, this
they
movie
fucked
gonna
up.
be fire.
I mean, but look.
So that's what I'm saying, Porter. Like they putting you in a position where now you, Porter, almost gotta play this role within that joint. And the weirdest part about it is, you gotta watch your son lie for the rest of his life. So that part makes you look at a motherfucker when, we've all been in situations, I've been in situations, motherfucker right in front of me telling me something don't exist that I already seen the paperwork, nigga. I know it exists, right? So now if you in a situation now where you're watching your son have to be at them Jones with the tears and if I ever find out who did this, you know what I'm saying?
Well, see, that falls on the person though, because that's out of pocket. I mean, if I'm the parent that knows their son did the thing, it's like, after I done told you, like, hold yourself accountable, because I can't control people and how, like, if my son goes around continue to lie, I can't control him. Like, we come in this world, we leave out this world by ourselves. So it's like, you're still your own person. But I think as the parent whose son did that, to still be laughing and smiling and attending events and all that, that's a little bit extreme. Like, at some point, you have to kind of like...
But if you already...
You have to kind of separate yourself then.
But then if you do... so this is what happens, right? This is what happens. You already have the relationship with that family, right? Again, like he painted the picture where like that young boy was kind of like your son too.
Right.
So you're already there all the time. You already supporting them in these moments. And then now you kind of got to like stir yourself back. That family's going to be like, what happened? They're going to ask questions like, what's wrong? Like, why are you not coming around anymore? You know, because you all of a sudden is not supportive.
I get all of that. And I just want to say that this is extra sticky. And Black Deniro mentioned that this is extra sticky and extra touchy, right? So I want to play devil's advocate. Me and Dev like to do that a lot, right? Now, let's say, right, because we see these scenarios too. We talking about a death, right? And I'm speaking for the people who may have answered like how like me and Beauty answered, right? Where we would stand with our kid out of love. I can't, whatever. Let's talk about the flip side to it. Let's paint the scenario, because I just seen it. Let's paint the scenario where the parent does admit it, does try to like get closure and do the right thing and be honest. Somebody still died. The kid still died. So if a parent does admit it and try to say, okay, kid, I got this. I'm going to try to make it right?
Oh, no, there's no way of doing that.
But my thing, and that's what I'm telling you, that it's not even guaranteed that y'all going to get closure. You and these people still will remain friends, get all peaches and cream. Because look, we just seen, I don't know what young boy it was, but it was just a shooting somewhere. And I believe the kid that did the shooting was black because he killed himself as well, I believe, because they found his father and his father spoke on it. They found his father and wanted to interview his father for some reason, you know, and his dad was pretty much on some shit like, yo, I don't know why my son would do some shit like this. Like, I'm not this type person. But in the comments, everybody was still like, man, fuck that nigga dad. Like, it's his fault. Yeah. Like, you raised him. Listen, it's your people.
Bro, I lived it.
You know what I'm saying? So I just feel like I don't think that a person is really wrong for standing with their son and saying like, look, you know, I'm not going to tell on you. Yes, you should. I would like you to think about what's the best thing for you to do. I think that was a great answer that Black gave. Again, another little piece that you could go that route. But I don't know if confessing to it is going to be the best answer. I don't even, for real, confessing to it, to be honest, if we dealing with reality and looking at reality and looking at how people are now, if these people are some forgiving people, because you see people forgive the murderer of their child, right? In courts and shit like that. If these people are those type people, then maybe you'll get some closure. But if not, if they not them type people, then guess what? They gonna hate you anyway. Right. So for you to take the answer that Beyond just gave, that Beauty just gave, saying you might have to separate yourself from them, might be the best case.
I think that right there is the best defense to what we're talking about there, because of the fact that, people might look at you sideways and say, damn, you don't come to my son Joe, and that's like disrespectful. Like, okay, I guess it's old news to you. Really, you staying away for that reason, the same way that people stay away from, like, you can have somebody die in your family. Close friends of yours don't call you. They're not calling you because they don't care. It's because they don't know what to say.
Right?
I don't even want, maybe at this moment, Black, you ain't even thinking about that shit. When I ring your phone, I'm reminding you of it. So a lot of people kind of back away, not because they don't love you, they not supportive of you. It's not that at all. It's that they literally is, I don't know what to say to help this.
And you gotta have a friend. I only got 4 friends. 4. I don't have friends.
Right.
I don't have friends at all. I got associates. I got 4 friends. 4. If you want to include my 2 brothers, 6. They're gonna know what to do. They're gonna know that they can call me. They're gonna know what's up.
Because they know you as an individual.
They're my friends. Like, I have 4 friends.
But you painted this picture in a way where like that parent or those parents knew, like they literally knew them, like almost like they was they son.
Yeah,
essentially.
Yeah, because
so
if
like
you got
for
a
you
kid
to not
standing-
know what to do, not saying that you're not gonna know, but you're kind of gonna still feel
You're grieving too.
You're grieving too in a way. So it's
Yeah.
different when like there's no association with the person that passed. I can understand you don't know what to say to a person. You know, one of my friends, you know, her mom just passed away. Like, I don't know that feeling. I had my dad pass. I never had, you know, so I share my love and that's that, but I don't partake in certain activities with that because I just don't know how to, you know. But in this situation, if I'm close to that person, I'm going to be grieving as well. Yeah. So it's just like, I get what you saying, Dad, but it's just like at the same time, it's like, you know what she going through because you kind of feeling it, probably not to the capacity that that person is, but you
you
are.
don't know until it happens to you.
Right.
Like my best friend, his mom passed before mine, and I told him, you know, I know how you feel. I'm sorry, da da da. And then you fast forward years later, and my mom passed away. I called him one day and it was like, yo, bro, I'm sorry. He was like, you know what I'm saying? I'm like, you know, when your mom passed away, I told you I knew how you felt. And I think we just say it out of what we supposed to say or we think we know.
Right.
But I was like, I didn't.
Now
I know
do.
how you felt.
I would actually rather a person, if you don't know what to say, it's fine to not say nothing and keep your space, because guess what? You can actually say the wrong thing.
Yeah,
right. You can actually
like
try
Deb
to
said,
like
some people take it wrong when you don't say nothing.
Yeah, well, listen, when my baby mom died, there was people that checked on me, and then there was people that kept it kind of like normal. Well, I don't know if they were mindful that I was going through something. I don't know if they thought maybe because they go through things and they still carry on life that maybe I should. But it was people that was like contacting me, and it was like our typical contact, like prior to my baby mom passing. But in the state I was in, it was bad for me. I didn't want it. You know, especially like, again, I would rather actually have you try to check up on me and may not say the right things, but I kind of like know where you're going. I know where your intentions was, and I can accept that better than, you know, people still in contact with you, but almost kind of like fake and disregard.
You got to decipher, bro, because it's like, if somebody call you and say, what happened? That seems like it's nosy to me. It doesn't matter what happened. I hate when people say that, what happened? Even in the comments, what happened? It doesn't matter. Like, no
this
matter what
person's
happened.
no longer.
And I give space. I'm always going to say something to somebody that I have some type of feeling for or deal with or that's cool with. I give space first. Shout out to Freeway. You know, he's one of the most strong, humblest brothers I know. And he's recently lost his father. You know, he lost his daughter. He lost his son. He lost, you know, this is some powerful things, right? I give space first because I know his phone's going crazy. And then I check in. And then, you know, sometimes I'll call after a while, but first I'll text and say, you know, I love you, bro. Like, I really genuinely love you. And I'm here if you need me.
That's the best
and I
thing you can say to a person. Right there, you love them and you hear.
And shout, big shout to Freeway, man. I think Freeway is a very just a strong piece for this whole area, because everybody I think that's in music and stuff like that has kind of like been a witness to like what he's going through. Him, Oskino also, who also lost a child.
Shout out to Rocky. She lost her brother, and I gave her space first, and then I text her and told her, you know, sorry for your loss and things of that nature. But it be genuine. You know what I mean? It is, you know, you gotta
keep them folks in prayer, man.
Listen, man, everybody at home, I really want to get your take on it in the comments. There really is no wrong answer because this scenario is insane. Exactly. You know what I'm saying? But a lot of, like we just talked about, it hits close to home. And I definitely know what Porter talking about when it came to the, you know, blaming the parents and all of that type of stuff, because I've witnessed it in my own family where somebody went and did something wrong, but then there was a lot of us that went and did the right thing. My parents can't be that fucked up. They did, you know what I'm saying? And we all got taught the same shit.
Right.
So, you know, but what I do want to do before we get out of here, we always do something. We're going to come to y'all last, so y'all got time to think. We do something called Was Hot, Now It's Not. And on the Was Hot Now It's Not is something that at one particular time was super popping, but now that shit ain't happening no more. It ain't popping no more. Nobody fucking with it. Porta Rich, would you like to start?
Always was start with Porta. I got it. God is with me today. I got it. Nah, because I be lost sometimes. Like, what the fuck? I want to say, and maybe this is still hot in other places, but it's not hot in the hood anymore. We came up in the hood, so I can only relate to kind of like sometimes the hood shit. But I remember when kind of like no socks, like really like rocking no socks, right? With like certain kicks and shit like that. Like you had to pass on it. You had like the green light on it. Like now,
for me because I got no socks on now.
No. But now in 2022, I think if you get caught, if you're not at the Bahamas, like in like a linen suit with like some loafers or something,
wild.
that's the only place you'll get a pass on it now. I think in the hood now, when they find out you don't got on socks, you like a funky foot nigga. You like funky Bigfoot.
Richie, my shit got the built-in socks. So I get a pass, like my shit got.
Oh no, you don't. But that's what I'm telling you. You get a super pass. You get a super pass, and all the, because you gotta understand. Look at all the socks they making that you can't see to kind of like replace the no sock era.
Oh yeah, the Jones that's on the bottom.
Nigga, they got a half a sock. They got a sock that only cover your toes.
Yeah, just the ones that
Just
cover your toes. And
so they
a
make
little
sure
bit
it
of
don't
heel.
get seen in the heel area and in the ankle area. But back in the day, we was actually okayed, and you could rock no socks in the hood. You just had to know not to be in that motherfucker all sweaty. You can't be probably getting all sweaty after a long day. You know what I mean? Because that shit gonna rock. And that, well, you can't do that no more. They catch you with no socks. It's like foul play. Even in the summertime, niggas be on you. In the hood, like, what that nigga don't got on no socks? Like, it's like, wow. And back in the day, no socks was, you had a pass on that.
That's a good one, Porter. I respect that one.
Yeah.
Well, let's continue. What you got?
I actually been talking about this amongst my friends recently, but like back in the day, like always getting your hair pressed out was like a thing. Like everybody with curly hair, whatever, they'd be like, now I want my hair pressed out, meaning like making it straight. Now everybody's embracing, their curls and not getting their hair because they know the damage that it causes on your hair. So shout out to all the women that just want to wear their hair natural and curly and not damaging our hair like they used to do back in the day. Because the press was like, oh no, bitch, I'm lit with this press.
Right.
Now it's like, nah, I'm going to wear my natural hair because,
She had a perm for 20 years. They was looking like a stick of deodorant. The roll-ons. The fuck happened to that hair?
Oh my God.
Niggas an idiot. Oh, do the Nasty Girls got any? Y'all got one? Monica don't got one? Yes, she do. She
Monica is herself. She was hot last week. She not no more.
Listen, she a Monica like
Monica ready to cut somebody
She's not a
out.
morning person. She's not a morning
we
person.
bullying her because she don't have a microphone to fight back. That's why you got to do it when you can.
And she's not a morning person. This is the perfect time to like attack her.
Yeah.
I feel bad for Monica though because like shout out to her for being here and just being up and ready to work because I literally shot them a text and was like, listen, I need us to shoot in the morning. Monica was like,
Yeah, she hates it.
Is there any, literally she said, is there any other day, is there any other way we can do this? And I was like, nah.
You're like twerking at 9 o'clock in the morning.
I was like, hey, we gotta do what we gotta do. So for her to be here,
We'll
I
give y'all
appreciate you.
complimentary
I
tickets to the
appreciate you.
first screening of Dope Girls.
Hey.
Yeah.
I forgot to mention Dope Girls. so
Okay,
get
Dope
out.
Girls on the way.
We
On the
need
way.
that.
And make sure that y'all go see Jenny. I'm going to give y'all my Was Hot, Now It's Not. And I think I'm right. But it's every year there's these like different sayings. It's like every fucking year of the 2000s. And I think this one is about dead.
Which one?
It's the blank for me.
It's the shirt for me.
That joint right there is dead now. Last year, everything was the something for me. No matter what it was.
This year is period.
No. Period is dead. Period is dead. No,
I still see that. I still see
Period
it.
is recycled like
Yeah.
everything else.
Yeah.
They said it when I was a kid. Period. That was
Yeah.
they even said it in rap.
No, but it was how they said
No.
it. Like it was a different, like it was
This,
different delivery.
this one got a
so you
poo
could be like,
on the
period.
end. Period poo.
Yeah. Period with the
upgraded
T.
it.
It's like period. It's like
and period
agreeing.
T. It's like
you know how like back then you say like no period. Like you're
Finished.
serious.
My parents
That's
said that.
it. This period is more like you're agreeing. Like,
It got a T on it. Look, you see how they snatch the air? Why do they do that? Why I don't understand. What is this?
We gotta get from now on, y'all. These sayings is gonna come out with expiration dates, and after the expiration dates, y'all don't fuck with them no more.
Listen, the one I'm waiting to expire now is it's given. It's given.
Oh, it's given. It's
It's
given what it's supposed to give.
The new one is the shit me and Sid was saying earlier. What is it? Apple bottom make me want to bite.
Hold on. Apple nigga wanna bite? I don't wanna have a good night.
I'm crying.
Listen, that's song lines,
Shout
y'all.
to Coy Lorraine. Nah, we love Coy.
Beyond Beauty, what you got? Was hot, now it's not.
The June bug.
Oh, you stole mine.
That's all
I
Oh,
Nah,
He
that
says
was.
done.
I had a feeling we was gonna say the same thing.
Yeah, I'm done.
Nah, that was.
how you ain't
I
had that?
swear to God, that's what I was gonna
Rip it
say.
up.
Now,
I
where
got
did the
one for
June
you.
bug start, y'all?
When?
Where? Who was the first? Like, what was the? Did we know
Oh,
the city? Did it come from like a certain
It came from
city?
that dancer guy.
It was this. Hold on, wasn't it? It was to that song with the boy with had the twisty ass, crazy ass hair, right? What was the?
His name is Junebug.
That's his name.
Oh.
No,
the guy.
Nah.
June bug has a low cut. He's light skinned. Got like.
I thought it was that certain song they was doing it to. What's the song
It's
called?
called beatbox.
Beatbox, but who sings that? That's not
I
no
don't
June
know.
Bug.
I don't know who
It's
that
not, but
is.
Junebug made the dance this.
Oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
Junebug made it popular.
His name
Yeah,
was
she
Junebug.
stole
Yeah.
mine, bro. I'm gonna say drinking syrup, popping perks.
Oh, that's what
It's
happened.
still
listen.
around.
It's
You wish that was there.
It's
I
still
wish it
hot.
was not hot, but it's still
We're still doing that shit.
Listen.
And I got one for you. Big T-shirts that go to your knees. And
Oh
like,
yeah, of course. Oh yeah, you know.
Yeah.
Well,
we really-
it's kind of coming back though.
No,
Not
it's
to the
not.
knees.
Guys?
Not to the
No, the big
knees.
clothes
The
coming
big,
back.
the big clothes is coming back, but not to the knees. The big clothes are coming
I
back
was just watching.
They are, bro. My
I was just
daughter with
watching.
the
It's
big
crazy
joints.
because I was just watching the rap battle last night. It was one of Meek old battles, and Meek had on the biggest black T-shirt in the world.
Nigga
But he
was
was
this
scorching.
big.
He was scorching the little nigga and kept telling him like, "I'm gonna scorch you again. That's all you got." And all I
Niggas
kept
with
noticing
the
was
hat
the T
torn,
was
hat
big.
low.
The T-shirt was big as shit though.
I used to love the Big T era. Some Big T, some Jabot jeans,
Yes.
some Timbs.
You always had it fitted on. That's why you ain't got no hair.
I know.
Always had it fitted. He'll either have it. Dad was known for having. How did they keep their hat?
It was Big Steve 40.
Yo, how do you keep your hat right there backwards and just leave it there? It would just, it won't move.
It was like a NBC lean, like a weird
Black
lean.
Deniro said he got to try his brush. He said his brush.
Nah, like, nah.
He got put on his scalp.
Black
He said
Deniro's
his
brush isn't going to save me, y'all. I need Japanese scientists. They working on some shit. You know what I'm saying? Listen, y'all. They got the wheel out. They got the wheel out. They got the wheel out. And before we spin on this wheel, I want to thank our guest, Black Deniro, for coming through. You know what I'm saying? And also Beyond Beauty for coming through. Make sure that y'all go watch Jenny. And be
Yes.
on the lookout for what's the next one that's coming?
Dope girls.
Yes,
Dope
sir.
Girls coming soon. It's finished filming?
The first episode. This is a series.
Oh, it's a series.
In parts.
With the
This is part
Devin
one.
Wade show at the first premiere.
So
Part one.
you came on our show. You know what I mean? I think that some of our actresses and actors
It's all female driven.
Ooh, we
So,
love
yeah.
that.
Oh, well, we got actresses right here. They available for all kind of
This is
scenes.
the project manager.
Project
All they gotta do
manager,
is
what
make
you
sure
need
they-
them to do? You need them to fight, curse, cheat,
No,
steal,
these guys know how to act.
twerk.
I'm not twerking.
My nigga, like this nigga just
Yeah,
be
I told
selling
you
me.
we're not doing the typical
I'm
jokes.
just
Yeah.
saying, I'm
This
trying
is
to get
fire.
them. I'm getting
He
them
gave
work.
all characteristics that I'm not. And I'm like,
That's why it's acting.
alright, well, I can play the character.
Yo,
shit.
I
What you thought this
cannot
was a
listen to
reality
my
We'll
show?
talk
partner,
about it though.
Monica.
We'll let y'all
Yes,
know.
let us know. Let us know.
Look, he spun the
Scream it
wheel.
out. Scream it out.
Let's go.
I'm not giving you no money.
No time.
You got dollars.
That's what the dollars for?
I need to pour some coffee on Monica.
It's giving what it's supposed to be.
It's for me. Let's go.
That's how they do it.
Okay, Monica. Okay, Monica.
She's working today. She's working today.
I wanted the floor niggas.
Listen, y'all. For myself, Porta Rich still in one. For myself, for Walesca D, for Monica Mulatto, for the Nasty Girls, for Sin City, for Dase Walesca D, for Porta Rich, for Beyond Beauty, and for Black Deniro. We out of here, y'all.
Niggas get home like this.